Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to day 2 of the Trade Decorator Festival. So this morning we're going to be joined by Greg Perkins from Taser. Taser have recently launched a range of high quality masking tapes for spray painting, and we're going to be taking a look at those, and then Greg's going to be joining us live for a Q&A and a product demonstration of some of their range of products, and you'll get your chance to put your questions to Greg live in that Q&A. So for anybody that's not familiar with Crowdcast, I see you found the comments box. Feel free to carry on commenting. If you do have a question you'd like to ask Greg, if you could wait until we're live with Greg in the Q&A session, because anything that you write in here won't transfer to that session. The green box beneath me that says join Q&A, I'll give you a shout out exactly when you need to press that so that you don't miss anything. But please don't do that now because you will lose us and have to log back in. We are live on Facebook as well this morning. If you're watching us on Facebook and you'd like to get involved in the Q&A, a link will be posted there for you to come and join us on Crowdcast, and you can hit that green button to come through to the Q&A because we won't be able to take questions from Facebook. Thanks ever so much everyone for joining us, and let's take a look at the new range of products from Taser for spray painting. Hi everyone, welcome back. As you can see, I'm joined now by Greg Perkins from Taser. Good morning, Greg. Thanks for joining us.
Morning. Thank you.
I'll just show you all around the Crowdcast platform, just in case we've got some new faces in here this morning. If you take a look, you'll see, like in the other session, you can comment in the comments bar. Beneath the screen, there's a tab to ask a question. If I could prompt you to use that tab for me and type your questions in there, and then I can keep track of the session and make sure we don't miss your question. If you would like to come up on the screen and speak to Greg in person, if your question might need a bit more explaining, then please just type in the comments bar that you'd like to come up on the screen, and I will bring you up and we'll have a chat with you live on screen. So, Greg, we were just looking at those new products. Where can I buy those from?
We currently sell obviously in all of the brewers stores, and they have a certain amount of the range. We're in a limited amount of PPG stores, but we are looking at rolling out to all PPG or Johnson's decorating stores within the next sort of 12 months. And you can also find them online. We sell the complete range that I'm going to go through on my paintbrush.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to hand over to you, Greg, and give you the screen and let you go through the products that you've got there to show everybody.
Okay, thank you. So good morning to everybody. When I was sat in there, I did notice a few names pop up. I thought I saw Scott Oliver and Brian. So morning to everybody who is there. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you today. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to get up and get dressed, because it makes a difference. What I'm going to do today is run through the Taser spray range. It's predominantly existing products that we've put together in a range set for spraying, because spraying is becoming much more prevalent within the marketplace. There are a couple of new products, and I'll be going through those. If you don't know about Taser, let me tell you. Taser is probably the second largest adhesive manufacturer globally, and we basically produce tapes, double-sided cloth, foam, masking tapes, packaging tapes, tapes for the electronics industry. If you've got a mobile phone or a watch, more than likely they're held together with tape, and more than likely they're held together with Taser tape. So it's big in the automotive industry, but the products that we're talking about today are for the decoration trade. We also have other products within the portfolio. I think it's over 7,000 at the last count. And we go into things like bathroom accessories and non-adhesive shelves and adhesive shelves, not non-adhesive. So it's if you want to put a hook up rather than banging a nail in, we've got like a tab that you can use. So we do a lot of those kind of products. The range is extensive, and that's one of the things we pride ourselves on. When we talk to customers, we talk about the possibility of supplying a complete range. And I'm not sure it was really within the remit before we came into the market that you had anything more than a low-tack product and a general purpose product. I believe that Taser has led the way in bringing better quality products to the market. I must also say that if you're here and you're registered on this event, then you have the opportunity or the possibility of winning one of our Taser sustainers. So thank you for registering. Thank you for turning up. And it will come with a selection of the spray range with it. So look forward to that. And also I've got another giveaway that I will do a little bit later. First of all, let me talk about some products. if you know the Taser products, you'll all know the Taser Yellow. It is our most popular product, and it's a very, very good product. It's a precision product, which means that it doesn't give you any paint bleed. It's a nice, strong, tacky product, so it's ideal for going onto solid walls, and ideal for making sure that you get that crisp finish that the customer is looking for. We have the blue outdoor or UV tape product. This is a product that effectively is highly UV stable. Now, what that means is, as you know, UV sunlight affects things. It makes patio furniture brittle. It dullens windows. It effectively can destroy things, and it does exactly the same with adhesive. So when you put some tape on a window, and there is UV sunlight, or just UV light, it doesn't have to actually be direct light, it starts eating away effectively at the adhesive. It starts making it bond more to the window. Now, if it's not UV stable, then what you'll find is it will have bonded to the window possibly within a few hours, depending on the UV strength. So when you then come to take it off, you have a situation where it's either going to leave the adhesive on the window, or it's going to leave a pretty sticky mess anyway. And as you take it off, it's going to rip the paper, and you're going to look at it and think, well, I'm never going to use tape again. So by having a UV stable adhesive, effectively what that means is that you can put it on the window with confidence that at the end of the job, you can then demask. Now, the blue will actually stand outside for up to 6 months. That means I can put it on the window that I have here, and I can then come back in August and I can remove it like I put it on yesterday. And that can give you confidence. I'm not saying that you would put it on for that amount of time, but effectively preparation is part of spraying, and you would prepare the area. And if you're having to make sure that you prepare, spray, and take it all off within a certain amount of time, then effectively you're not being particularly efficient. So the blue has an outdoor UV stability of 6 months. The yellow has an outdoor UV stability of 2 months, and an indoor stability of 6 months. It's confusing, I know, but anyway, not part of the spray range, but I thought I would also mention it, is that we do have the pink tape, which is a low tax sensitive tape. It is one of our most popular products, and we do get a huge amount of comments about it with regards to its delicateness on surfaces. Effectively, you would use this tape, not necessarily in spraying, because especially with the air that spray can produce, it may well not hold and it may well lift. But however, this tape can be used on any surface where you're not confident that the paint is keyed or the surface is properly keyed, and you feel that it might pull off on some sort of sensitive surface like a wallpaper, or a wall covering. Although, like I say, it's not officially part of our spray range, it is always a good one to mention. I want to also raise a product that we don't normally talk about when we do these kinds of things, but the Taser general purpose masking tape. This is our standard 3-day tape. It is a standard general purpose tape. There's nothing really much to say about it. It's paper based, it's beige, and if I took the Taser label off it and I hid the core, you probably wouldn't realize that it's any other tape. But effectively, these products are still important in your decoration toolkit, if you like, because if you're tabbing things down, or if you're having to hold boards on the floor in place, or maybe mats so that to prevent them slipping, that kind of thing, you don't need high quality masking tape for that. These kind of products are more than suitable. They're nice and sticky, and it's the sort of thing that it can go down. It can go down onto the boards, and can even then be recycled then with the boards effectively. So that's just one to mention, and it is something that we've specifically put in to our spray range, because general purpose should always be still part of your bag. So moving on to the next range, the Easy Cover products, which is what you saw in the video that Nick was demonstrating. Effectively, we've got, or we've always had, Easy Cover, and it's always had general purpose masking tape on it. It's a drop cloth, if you like. You would bring the product out, and effectively the sheet would drop down to particular lengths, excuse me, and effectively it then covers a large area. What we've done is that we've now added the yellow masking tape. This is the yellow precision masking tape to the drop cloth. We've got 4 sizes in this particular product. They start very small. They start with the 550 millimeter, which is about half a meter, opens out to. There's a 1.4, there's a 2.1 meter drop, and there's also now a 2.6 meter drop. So it is literally ceiling to floor. Effectively, I wonder if I can move my camera just to show you. I'll move it back. Here's one I prepared earlier. You bring the drop cloth down. Nick did it a lot better than me. I'm not a decorator. I'm just a simple salesman. It does have a static cling, so it will cling back against a wall. This is the 1.4 meter version, so it comes down to about here. Effectively, again, I haven't done a particularly good liner there, but effectively that would give you a precise line. So you would edge it right away along the top, and obviously that would then hold back. The difference is that we were told for many years actually that a lot of people used to use the yellow precision, and then they would use the Easy Cover over the top, so they're double taping. So this effectively will be a single tape operation. You still get the precise line, and it still has the static cling, exactly the same as the other Easy Covers that we have. The new product that we have is, and you probably noticed that it was a slightly different color, but it is the Easy Cover paper. And this is, the Easy Cover paper is very good because you can use it on skirting boards. I saw Nick using it on handrails, and effectively it covers an area, and it tapes it one side, and it can catch overspray if you're doing it on skirting boards, or around edges, if you're doing walls and that kind of thing. And it's a very good product because, I mean, the paper is a very good grade anyway. The precision on it, it is a precision. It is a slightly different color, but it still has a 3-month inside ability to leave no residue when you've used it. And again, These things can all go into our standard dispenser. So effectively, it's then very easy to apply and to ebb out. This is the 300 mil. It opens to 300 mil or 30 centimeters. And we also have a 180 product. This is the most popular, and it's ideal, like I say, really on things like skirting boards and edging for catching any overspray. And it's the new product that we have within, or one of the new products that we have within the new spray range. The other, I think I've caught all of those bits and pieces. The other product I want to talk to you about, which is new within the range, is double-sided masking tape. And you think, what is he talking about? Has he gone completely nuts in this lockdown? Effectively, Taser produce all types of tape, cloth tape, masking tape, double-sided tape in miles, basically. Double-sided tape is used for lots of applications, and I honestly thought I would never see double-sided tape in the Craftsman business unit, but we have it. Now, why do we have it? Because our easy cover has a static cling to it, and you can effectively use the precision tape to put a precise line down the side so that you get a nice precise line all the way around, which you would normally do. This is a mock-up. This isn't normally what would probably happen, but if you can think that you would have maybe some polythene or something, possibly even dust sheets that you want to put over an area and secure. Now, a lot of people might use something like duct tape. It's not particularly ideal and can be quite aggressive, especially on walls. So what we have is a double-sided tape. Bear with me. This is the science bit. As the opening side that you have here, which is the side that you would adhere to the wall, has a slightly less tackier feel to it, and therefore the adhesive is slightly less aggressive. The reason for that is that it will then allow it to be unmasked or demasked a lot easier. It won't affect the wall. The side that is under the cover here, this is a you can actually feel it's a little bit more aggressive. It's ideal for bonding to something like polythene, cloth, that kind of thing. So therefore, once you stick to that, it's unlikely to come away. So that's the science behind it. So the idea, and also it's got this nice what we call a Fingerlift Tab. So you can it's very easy to lift off. So what you would do is that you would have your polythene, and you would apply the tape to the wall, and then you would come along and effectively take off the cover sheet or the liner as it is. You can either do that in one, or you can do it as you go. Effectively, if I just pull this away and pull the liner off, and then I would then adhere the polythene to the tape, and that holds that securely, and you can actually see it's nice and tight now. So that would hold that there. Can stay on, no problem at all. And it is, look at your notes, Greg, UV stable for up to 6 weeks. So you could actually use that product for holding polythene in place, maybe around a window if you were rendering, and you didn't want the UPVC window to obviously be get render on it. But effectively, you could then cover that window. You would put the tape all the way around the outside of the window, and then you put the polythene onto it. It would hold nice and tight there. And then as you see, hopefully, can you see? Move my chair. It's nice and tight on the wall. So I'm going to then go and look and remove it. And it naturally removes, not from the polythene, but it naturally removes from the surface it's adhered to, because that side has less, it's not less adhesive, it's a different adhesive. So therefore it's engineered to release, if you like. So therefore you would literally, you just come along and you just lift it up and it would come off. So the giveaway is that if you would like to try this tape, we are giving it away. And there is a link that you can click that Paula has put up. Yes, she has. And you can request a sample of this free of charge. And you can try it for yourself, basically. I'm more than happy to answer any questions about it. Don't get me wrong, double-sided tape, it's probably not going to have, 6 rolls in the back of your van. It's not that kind of thing. But for particular jobs, it could be very interesting. And it'd be very interesting if you request a sample to get your feedback on the product. Sold very widely in Europe, used quite extensively, especially in spray applications. And that's pretty much it. There are some additional products in our spray range, which I'm not going to go through all of them. One thing I did want to just run through with you, and I always say it every time whenever I'm talking to decorators, is please treat your tapes I guess very much like you treat your spray machines or your brushes. Look after your tapes. They are part of your preparation process. They're part of your toolkit. Keep them clean, keep them dry, keep them out of sunlight, because obviously UV does affect them. It's very, a lot of people say, I really like your tape, but it's expensive. But you wouldn't necessarily say that if you're paying, a lot of money for a spray machine, because you're buying quality, or if you're buying a good quality brush, I believe our tapes are, they're not cheap in the market. I will give you that. But I don't believe they're most expensive product out there, but I believe that they do a job. They're designed for people like yourself, who use them day in, day out. And I don't know whether I've got much more to say, but effectively, I just want to try and get across to you. Please look after your tapes. When you buy them, they are an investment as far as I'm concerned. Okay, you're going to use them, and you're going to have to replace them. But as far as I'm concerned, if you get into your van and stick it on the window, on the dashboard, and then drive and then leave it there, while the sun is on it all the time, and then you turn around and say, well, it didn't work that well. I don't think you stick a pot of paint in the footwell and let it roll around, would you? So but anyway, that's my presentation. I do hope you've got some questions, and hopefully we can get through those, and go from there.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for the
Thank you.
demonstration. Some great products you've got there. We've just a few comments in the comments bar. Scott saying, oh, sorry, Andy saying awesome products. Charlie says you get what you pay for. Craig Allen says worth the money. Tom South, great tapes. Brian Dennett switched to Taser about 6 years ago after talking to you at the P&D show, been using them ever since.
Oh, hi, Brian.
And Charlie says, great presentation and can't wait to try them out. Thank you. So I see you've all been busy typing your questions in the questions bar. So we've got a good few questions to put to you, Greg. So we'll get started on that in a minute. Just to remind you all, if you are still watching on Facebook and you want to come and get involved in the conversation, if you hit the link on the post that you're watching on Facebook, you can still come and join us in the Q&A by hitting the green button. Now, if you are feeling brave this morning and you'd like to come up on the screen and talk to us, we'd love to chat to you. If you want to just type in the comments bar and you can actually come up on the screen and speak to Greg in person. While we wait to see if anybody wants to come and join us, I'll start taking our questions, Greg. So, question from Damien Creedon. Do your products have a shelf life after purchase or say a manufacturer's use by date to ensure it performs as expected if you was to buy in bulk?
I think we look to have no more than about an 18 to 24 month shelf life on it from a production date. But that gives the ability for obviously to go through the logistics process, and it goes through several warehouses before it would get to a store. We wouldn't expect it to sit on a shelf in a store for longer than maybe 4 months. If it is, we would always advise stores to rotate stock to make sure that they are. There's always that natural thing that you come to restack the shelves and you just push all the stuff on there straight to the back, and there has been cases of that, but effectively once you've bought it, I would really say I would hope that you would use it within about 6 months.
Okay, fantastic. Another question.
Sorry, just as a caveat to that, and obviously to make sure that you look after them, make sure that they are in a container, make sure they are kept in sunlight in good condition, not in sunlight, not out of direct sunlight, and obviously looked after, because there is that thing that somebody buys a tape and you say, well, I only bought it 2 months ago, but it's been rolling around the back of the van in the last 6 weeks, and in the last 2 weeks when they've started using it, then that's where the problem's been. But as long as they look after them, I would expect that you should really be using your tapes within 6 months of purchase.
Okay. Vincent's asking what tape he can use on lime rendered indoor walls. It's a gritty finish, he says.
Gritty finish, that's a horrible surface. It's a difficult one because effectively any tape will only adhere to the surface you put it on, and if it's a gritty, chalky surface, then quite dusty, then effectively the tape's going to adhere to the dust or the chalkiness of it, the grittiness of it. If he means grittiness as in very uneven, then probably I think maybe paper tape can sometimes almost be too rigid. You want something very flexible, something like a PVC type product, and the only PVC product we have is relatively aggressive, so you would have to be very careful to make sure that you tested it by by actually putting it onto a small part of the surface, rubbing it on, leaving it for about 10 minutes, and then demasking it to see what it actually demasked like. But any gritty surface is a difficult one, whether it's indoor or outdoor. I mean, brickwork, some bricks are quite dusty and stipply and gritty, and effectively, that's what you're adhering to, and that's why a very tacky, sticky tape like our orange outdoor plastering tape, that's a very good product for those kind of things. But standard paper, I mean, the yellow, that's relatively flexible, it's not too over tacky, it's a good tack on it. That would probably be my starting choice, and if that one doesn't work, then you would move up in aggressiveness, like the outdoor plastering tape, that's got a higher tack, but obviously just be careful as you try it on the surface.
Okay. Right, I've got a question here from Brian Dennett. He says, what length are the easy cover rolls, and are the different size drops, are they all the same length?
No, thanks for that. Yes, with the 550, which is obviously half meter, the 1.4 and the 2.1 meter drops are all 33 meters in length. The 2.6 meter drop is 17 meters in length, basically because we've got to wrap up so much more polythene to be able to keep the same dimensions effectively as the then you can't get as much polythene on. So it's the fact that it's the polythene. There's more polythene on the 2.6, so therefore it's only a 17 meter product.
Okay. Oh no, hang on, it's just not moved. I've got a question from Tom South. On the easy cover poly rolls, does the poly hold the paint? On some poly sheets, once the paint is dry, it flies off and can make a mess.
Sorry, say that again.
He's saying on the easy cover poly rolls, does the poly hold the paint? I'm presuming once the paint's dried, he's saying, does it stay on the polythene? He says on some poly sheets, once the paint's dry, it flies off and can make a mess.
Right. Okay. All I can say is our, I don't know if you can see it here, our polythene is slightly stippled. So the idea is that it would catch the paint. So obviously it's not 100%, but the idea is that it catches the paint and stops it running all the way down. I think that's what he's asking. So yes, you do always have to mind that if you're maybe rollering or spraying or whatever, and paint is getting onto here and then starting to slide down, it should catch it, but there is no guarantee, and you just need to make sure that obviously you mask everywhere to ensure. Once it's dry, then I don't know, it's a difficult one because effectively it's a throwaway item. You would use the product. It may stay up for a number of days or longer. If you were spraying 2 or 3 coats or something like that, or if you were masking a place out for a length of time, but effectively the paint should stay on there if it does dry on there, but really you would then just roll it up and throw it away.
Okay, so Andy's commenting. He says yes, it does stay on there. so I guess Andy must have used it and has
Oh,
found
okay.
it to be quite
Yeah.
effective.
So once it's dry, yeah, it doesn't necessarily fall away. Other than yeah, you know, it's. I guess if it would bond to it, if you like. Yeah, I know I see what you're saying now.
Okay, he's saying he's used it on the bifold too.
Oh, okay.
So that's good. Scott Oliver says, does the double-sided tape come in different widths?
Hello, Scott.
Does it come
How are
in
you?
wide? Does it come in a wide width?
No, it's I think we're only doing the one width, which is 25 millimeters. I think there is a slightly wider width, but we have not seen a need for it currently. The reason that we're doing the sample giveaway is that currently I think there's only one website, which is my paintbrush, that has it available for sale. So we're really looking for demand to see whether there is a market for it. And if there is a market for it, and if the wider version, I think the wider version is only about 36 millimeters, it's only a little bit wider. And if there is a market for it, then obviously we will look to add it to the range and bring it in. But we're really looking to see whether the market is either ready for this kind of thing or is open to it. So
okay, and Scott's just saying, would it work the same on dust sheets as on poly sheets?
to a certain extent. I mean, some dust sheets can be relatively heavy. So to hold a dust sheet up in a similar situation to this, it might be asking a lot. If the dust sheet is a relatively thin, cotton or something like that, then yes, I don't really think it would be a problem. But if you're asking it to hold up a heavy dust sheet that's been used for several years by a decorator, then I think you're probably asking a lot of it.
Oh, he said he's thinking of on floors.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah, yes, certainly to secure something in place on a floor, because obviously there's not the tension of, trying to gravity effectively.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, with regards to floors, yes, you're right. I mean, from a health and safety point of view, these things are important. You get ripples in dust sheets when people are walking around, properties and houses and things like that. It can be quite dangerous. So, but yes, it would certainly hold something like that in place on the floor. So yeah, I would say yes. But register for a sample and we'll send you one, Scott.
There you go. I've got a question from Wayne Armstrong. He says, hi, Greg. Is the double-sided tape the same adhesive as the pink low-tack tape?
On the lower side, the pink is the lowest tack product that we do, and it's a little bit more than that. However, it's probably somewhere in between the yellow and the pink with regards to adhesion. But no, the pink is the lowest tack product that we do, and the reason for that is the pink tape literally has to just hold itself there, whereas what you're asking the double-sided to do, okay, you want it to release, but what you're asking it to do is hold something in place. So it has to have a little bit more aggression, if you like, or tack to it than the pink.
Okay, brilliant. I've got a few comments come in about the double-sided that might be useful to you. Scott Oliver says it looks like it'll have a lot of uses for the decorator. Vincent Boom says he could see it could be useful on stairs. And Scott said he's already ordered a sample and looking forward to using it. So
Brilliant.
there you go. I've got question here from Tom South. I know they will work better when warm, but if they are stored in very cool conditions, will it affect the life or future performance?
I mean, effectively, if you store your tapes in your van overnight, and we've obviously had some pretty cold weather, certainly last week, you just need to make sure you bring them up to room temperature, or certainly above, I would say, 15 degrees, to ensure that they perform properly. We would always advise that they shouldn't be stored below 5 degrees, and therefore in very cold nights, you know, it's not something maybe that you suddenly think of, but you know, we would say probably not a good idea to leave your tapes in the van overnight in those conditions. But I think if you as long as you're using them in you know, room conditions, or like I say, above 15 degrees, then the fluctuation in temperature, you know, if they're in a cold van and then you bring them in, I'm not aware that that has any detrimental effect on the product. What it is effectively, on the back of the adhesive on a tape is very much like glue, and you heat it up and it becomes liquid, and you cool it down and it becomes brittle. So when it's cold, it's not sticky, and we tend to sometimes get complaints that, you know, tape is falling off the wall when it's cold. And that's wall conditions as well. You know, if you're going into an empty property, doesn't have heating, or new builds, that kind of thing, it's all something to be aware of. Similarly, we don't really have the problem in this country, but above 40 degrees, you know, again, you might find that there's actually adhesion problems. But with regards to the fluctuation in tape temperature, effectively, if you keep it in the van and you bring it in, I'm not aware that it has a detrimental effect to the adhesive.
Okay. Tom's being cheeky. He said he needs a sustainer to keep them in so he can bring them in from the cold.
Good luck.
So I've got another question here from Brian Dennett. He says, so is a double-sided tape safe to use on glass?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Nice, easy answer for you, Brian. And Vincent says, are Taser doing a self-adhesive floor cover to protect floors and carpet?
We have one, but it's not really. It's only really suitable for glass, purely because it really only adheres very well in on smooth surfaces. We don't have something that is suitable for carpets or hard floors, because the one that we've got for glass is relatively thin as well. It's actually I think it's a product that's either come from the glazing industry or automotive, where they cover the windshields and that sort of thing. It is a product that I know our research and development are looking at. You know, we're always asked what products, you know, that would be suitable for the market, and to give sort of, you know, details of what we think we might be able to sell in particular countries. But currently, I would say no, we don't have a competitive product that might compete with other products that are currently out there on the market.
Okay. I've got a couple of other questions for you. Is there a dispenser for the easy cover, Greg?
Oh, I'd be a millionaire if I had a pound for every time I got asked that question. Um, the only current dispenser we have is our red Easy Cover dispenser, which you probably know, which you can buy with Easy Cover in it. Currently, it is the standard Easy Cover that comes in it, and it does have the ability to change, because you can take the center core out, and then effectively the tape does then come out. So you have an empty dispenser, and that will work on uh, all of the range except the 2.1, which ironically is bigger. So it won't fit the 2.1, but the 2.6 will fit in it. The 1.4 will fit in it. Even, like I said, that's the 300 mil Easy Cover paper that will go in it. So that's the only current dispenser that we have for our Easy Cover range. I would love to come to the next event and that be my new product to present to you. I think it's honestly, I'll probably get told off. Well, I don't think Anthony's in this actually, but I'll probably get told off by my marketing manager. But it is the one thing that we have missing from our spray range. We do get asked so much about ability to dispense our products, not only our Easy Cover, but also our masking tapes as well. You know, because when you're laying a lot of masking tape to mask up either a room or a project, then effectively, you know, dispensers can save time. They can actually improve sometimes, you know, how the tapes are laid. The one thing you do need to make sure is this is a Taser squeegee, but effectively, you know, just make sure when you lay tape down, you are burnishing it so that it's, you know, there is no ability for the paint to creep underneath, and dispensers can do that because obviously as you lay them down, they normally have a wheel afterwards that will actually do that, and it would that, you know, hold them in place. So, you know, it is something that I constantly, in almost every meeting where we talk about product development, I always raise. And like I say, if I can come to the next trade decorator and say this is our new dispenser, then I'd be very, very happy. But currently, this is our only dispenser that we have for our Easy Covers.
Okay. Damien's saying, can you buy the squeegees, please?
No, I think they're giveaways as far as I'm aware. And I'll check. But I'll see whether we might be able to get some sort of giveaway on that as well. I'll talk to Anthony and see whether we can do that, or see even whether everybody that's asked for a free sample of the double-sided, see whether we can send one out with those as well.
Scott made me laugh. He was very fast on the button then, saying, how do we get some, please, when you say giveaways? Tom's house says giveaways are always good.
We would normally give them away at trade days, and you know, if we were ever in store, we would give some to store managers and that kind of thing, and encourage them to give them out. But we're not allowed to go out.
Oh, they're going mad on here now. Everyone wants
one.
I
bet. Yeah. I'm not going to give my email address out then.
And I've got a question here that I know the answer to. Can we buy your sustainers?
That would make my second million, that would. No, effectively, I think it was considered, but I don't know whether we could find a partner to be able to help either produce them or even sell them. And we don't sell direct. And it was, and I think we've got more this year to give away than we've ever had. So, that there are, you know, that there are competitions out there. Obviously, we're doing a few, I think, with Trade Decorator.
Yeah.
But they are out there to win. And yes, they are sought after. At the end of the day, they are just a standard sustainer, and more than happy that if you've got a sustainer that you can move over and say, right, this is my tape sustainer, we'll send you some stickers and you can just stick Taser on it, and you can call it your Taser sustainer.
I've got a question from Mark Smith. He said, would the easy cover work in the M3 masker, obviously without applying additional tape?
I don't believe so. You'd have to try it, but ironically, very much like the color of particular tapes, shall I say, we tape companies never all got together and decided the core size. And the core, I'm not sure whether our core size will go on other dispensers. So it would be a bit of a trial thing, to be absolutely honest with you. But again, if we can't really promote that kind of thing, but if it works for you, then please try it.
Okay. And why should we be using Taser tapes over other tapes, Greg?
Well, I think I said in part of my presentation, Taser came into the market back in 2007, 2008, and at the time, I wasn't actually part of the initial rollout, but I do remember, and I do know the person that first brought it into the UK within Taser. And effectively, the market was general purpose and low tack, and I think we were one of the first companies, not the first, but one of the first companies to bring in higher quality masking tape and open up the fact that there is more than one tape, because there is more than one job. Yellow masking tape won't go on brick. Pink masking tape won't go outdoors. The paper is good for skirting boards and overspray and that kind of thing, but it's no good for covering a doorway. So and we pride ourselves really on the fact that all our tapes are made to a high standard. We have a large range, and effectively they are made for the decorator. They are made for somebody who are using tapes day in, day out. They're not DIY, it's time to paint the lounge tapes. They are products that you're supposed to rely on in your day-to-day work. Very much like you want to rely on the fact that as long as you look after your spray machine, when you turn it on, it works. And I think Taser, certainly in the market, certainly across a lot of Europe, is seen as quality tape. And within the decorating trade, I think we've got a pretty good following, and I think people recognise the quality. And thank you very much for your comments. Yes, you're right. You do. You get what you pay for. I always have this saying of, you buy cheap, you buy twice, and I always fall foul of it, and kick myself every time I do. But I think with Taser, you can rely on the quality, and that's the main thing. I would always say that when you're buying Taser, you're buying quality.
Yep, we've got agreement here from Scott. He's saying great quality products, and Vincent said it's like quality paint. It's great to work with. So some great comments there. I've got another question from Tom South. He's saying, are there any plans for Taser to make a hand masking gun similar to other manufacturers?
Again, very much like the dispenser situation. It's what I'm asking for. It's what I'm saying. I think the thing, the barrier is obviously we're a global company, and although I report into a European operation, effectively it has to be that that we find products for European markets. So if one country turns around and says, I've got this application, or I've got this, I need this in my range, unless you're in a situation where you're going to be able to sell millions and millions of them, we're not going to be able to produce it. So it needs several countries to sign up to the fact that, yes, I need a dispenser. Yes, I need a dispenser. Yeah, I need a dispenser. Currently, it's not on our development list. It is something that is, as far as I'm concerned, high priority. But like I say, it's more that Taser tend to develop tapes and tapes for different applications, and hence obviously double-sided tape for what we were talking about earlier, it would be really, really nice to be able to come and say, yes, we've got this new hand dispenser. It fits all of the products. It's very simple, easy to use. But currently, I cannot tell you that we've got plans to do that. And I can only apologise.
No problem. And I've got a question from Powell. He says, usual question, is it available in Ireland?
Yes, it should be. We sell through a wholesaler in Ireland, but if you go on the Taser website and click onto the craftsman section, if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there will be a store locator. And as far as I'm aware, you can put in places within Ireland, southern and northern, and it will pull up local stores that they might not sell all of the Taser range. And as I said earlier, with regards to where we currently sell, I mean, we are looking at rolling out to PPG. There are limited Dulux stores that are willing to stock the product, and brewers stores, they have the entire range. With regards to Northern Ireland, is it Northern Ireland or Southern Ireland that you'll be looking at? Do you know?
It just says Ireland.
No, okay.
I've not got a comment.
Like I say, on the Taser website, there is a store locator under the craftsman section, and you can either put in a postcode or a local city, and it would pull up. Now, whether they would have the product that you're looking for, it just basically it would. Oh, okay, it's southern. So whether they would have the product that you're looking for, but effectively, if they've got Taser in the store, then they have the ability to order the product because they would be getting it through our wholesaler in Ireland. So if they didn't have the pink or the yellow or the blue or whatever product you're looking for, they would be able to source it.
Okay. We've talked quite a lot about the new double-sided tape. Why would you use the double-sided tape instead of, say, using easy cover or just normal tape to tab down sheets?
Well, I think Easy cover's okay. I mean, the easy cover film itself, we do have some outdoor products, and the easy cover indoor products, they are, I mean, there's it's strong polythene, but you can get thicker polythenes. And like I said in my presentation, if you're looking to effectively cover up a window, um, the easy cover is not necessarily, you may well have some either paper or polythene that effectively you can actually put straight up. So you would put the double-sided up first, and then you would be able to put the polythene straight onto it. um, the bit about having to use like a single-sided masking tape or something like that, effectively you're tabbing. So you're taking the tape and tabbing it outside of where the polythene is. So if you're tabbing it onto a wall or something, and you're trying to spray paint that wall, then you're almost masking over the bit you're trying to spray paint.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
it does make it relatively neat. I think the double-sided does have applications, but it's not taking anything away from the easy cover. That they are still products that effectively will be still highly used and very useful in a lot of applications. But I think maybe in particular applications where you just want to hold something in place, whether that's on a wall or on a floor or around a window, then I think the double-sided will probably come into play.
Okay. We talked a little bit about chalky surfaces and things like that, but what about brickwork? What products have you got for brickwork?
So effectively, we've got sort of more aggressive products. The main product that is out there at the moment is our orange plastering tape, and that is a PVC tape. So it's a PVC backed tape, very aggressive adhesive, and ideal for going on to brick. And we would not recommend it onto things like varnished wood, because it's likely to strip the varnish off. But certainly onto UPVC, soffit boards, that kind of thing, brickwork, stonework. Be very careful with any masking tape if you're looking to put it onto either natural stone or things like marble, that kind of thing, because effectively the adhesive will actually take the moisture out of the stone, and when you take it off, it will leave a what looks like a strip of adhesive, but in actual fact, all it's done is that it's taken the moisture out of the stone, and it looks like a line. And there's not a huge amount that you can do quickly about that, other than use some kind of vinegar and water mixture, very weak mixture, to be able to get the moisture back into the stone, and over a period of time it would start to fade. But effectively you're putting the moisture back into the stone. But onto normal brick, or stone on the outside of a house, then the orange plastering tape is the best product. You can actually adhere that product at quite low temperatures, even down to 0. So even in cold temperatures, it's still very tacky. It's very conformable because it's PVC, and it's ideal, especially if you're painting a window and you don't want to get it on the brick. You actually can tape up the brickwork and then just carry on painting the window, whether that's by spray or brush.
Brilliant. Andy says that's great for a job coming up with a stone staircase which needs protecting, so you might opt for the orange Taser. Fantastic.
Okay.
Well, I think we've come to the end of our questions in the session. Powell says, great, thanks very much, Greg. Yes, store locator works for Ireland. We'll be trying out the tape when the sample arrives. So thanks everyone for participating in the session this morning. It's been a great, really interactive session, and thanks so much for all the information you've provided for everybody, Greg. That's brilliant.
Thanks for your time.
No problem. It's great to have you on the show again. Now, what we're going to be doing now is launching our competition to win a Taser Sustainer. So beneath the screen, you'll just see there's a button just appeared. If you click on that button to enter the competition, and you can fill in your details, and then we'll be doing a draw for the winner at the end of the festival, along with all of the other draws in our Trade Decorator Gives competitions. So yeah, get entering. You've got Taser Sustainer, full of the new range of Taser spray products. Thanks everybody again for joining, and we are back again at 1 o'clock. We've got another session at 1 o'clock if you've not booked on that one. If you jump on our website, there's links there for the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock sessions today. And I hope to see some of you all in the other sessions. Thanks everyone for joining us, and thanks again, Greg. See you soon.
Thanks very much. Take care, guys. Thanks a lot.